guys, follow me on Instagram to never ever miss any of my crazy updates. Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I am driving the Mahindra XUV300 diesel automatic AMT auto shift, whatever you want to call it. The walk is long, but there is the vehicle. I love the DRLs, they look really nice, like, you know, it extends. It's like an Ultra L, which is very smart. Let's open the engine bay right away. You can hear the diesel motor because yes, it is on the louder side. On the outside, you get insulation right there as well. This is the motor. It's quite clean somehow. Any which ways, as you can see, the design of the AMT model is identical to the manual as well. You get a projector setup, but you know, LEDs would be nice. Fog lamps are turned on right now. This DRL extends here, which is also a nice touch. It gets front parking sensors, which is kind of unique in a compact SUV. 17-inch wheels, and of course the tire profile isn't very low. It's a sub 4-meter vehicle, but still it looks nice, bold, rugged as well. And you get this body cladding all through the car to reduce the visual bulk. You get roof rails as well, and over here you can see the shoulder line is actually broad, so that's also nice. And you get this blackened treatment for a floating roof appearance as well. You get a rear spoiler, and you get this message: live young, live free. Any which ways, at the rear, as you can see, it mentions XUV300 rear parking sensors, W8 auto shift. The lights at the rear are beautiful. The tail lights are beautiful indeed. And as you can see, there's a rear wiper, visual bulk reduced by that blackish sort of a bumper, and you get this sort of skid plate as well. Let's quickly open the boot of the vehicle. Now, this is the reverse parking camera. The boot is not big enough, which is an issue with the vehicle, and it doesn't come with a parcel shelf as standard. Just to give you an impression that the boot is big, but it is not big enough. Any which ways, the spare wheel isn't an alloy, and it is a smaller size tire as well. Obviously 17-incher will not fit in here, so let's try and open this. Okay, it's kind of stuck somewhere, but there, I'm sure you can see it. So boot area isn't big enough, but you know, you can split forward the seats into 60-40 format to increase the boot carrying capacity. Now we can actually fit in something and more. Can you put this back? Oh,
my laptop, just pick it up.
Oh.
Just pick it up.
Wait. Yeah, there I am, Spider-Man. Anyways, let's get inside. So rear seat space is actually decent enough, I would say, but you know, they should have given it a bigger boot. But that is the challenge of having a sub 4-meter vehicle. As you can see, there's good amount of knee room and leg room on offer. Under thigh support is always poor for a tall passenger like me. Headroom seems adequate. There's a hook here, there's a hook here, handle to hold on to when you're swinging like this, but you won't really swing. Floor is almost flat, 3 people can sit in comfortably because yes, it gets 3 adjustable headrests. There's also a center armrest with twin cup holders. Seats are quite comfortable. There is a magazine holder here. Slightly scooped out seat back. Actually, it's a very comfortable place to be in, but you know, the window area could have been slightly larger, I would say. Any which ways, car is identical to the manual. I don't even know why I'm even talking about this, because if you really want to know what are the features, you can click here to see the review of the manual. As you can see, the seats are actually quite comfortable. This one gets 7 airbags. With the optional variant, you get 7 airbags and a lot more features. Traction control button, front and rear parking sensors are there. You can turn them on and off. And you know what? The cluster light can be changed. So right now I've put it on blue. Now in order to do that, I have to press this strip button. Yeah, you can see a lot of information like temperature and whatnot. Now I have to long press the set button to get into the cluster setting, and there I've entered. Now I will enter the color setting in the day. Let's change this to sky blue. Okay, right now I think it is identifying it as night because when the light is turned on, there the color changes. Can you see it? I've turned it off. We are in white, we are in red, we are in yellow, we are in sky blue, and we are back into blue. Steering feels nice to hold. Cruise control buttons for the audio system. The screen is also nice. It gets Apple CarPlay, it gets Android Auto connectivity. But you know, the issue with the cluster is that you have the buttons here to operate them. This is the button to actually change the steering modes. So there, it's in sport, comfort, as well as normal. 3 modes on offer. And the wipers also work really well on this vehicle. Yes, it does. Auto dimming inside rear view mirror. There's a sunglass holder right there. Lots of light placement. It also gets a sunroof on offer. Meanwhile, the good thing here is, yes, this is a neat touch. Open it and the light turns on its own, so you get it on both the sides. This glove box is so long that we're going to do the laptop test. We're going to take this laptop, we're going to put it inside a glove box, and there it goes. It actually shuts. That is how big the glove box is. Meanwhile, there's storage space here as well. Let's get into reverse. So here we are into reverse. This is the reverse parking camera.
Please select the parking mode if you need assistance.
Thank you, mister. You get adaptive guidelines as well, but the parking camera is so dirty you can't see anything right now. But you know, you can decide that how you want to park, and it is going to actually, you know,
drive till you find a clear parking slot in the box area. Then put the reverse gear and turn the steering.
So basically this guy will guide you till the moon and back. Anyways, here's the push button start system. It gets passive entry, 2 USB ports here, aux port here, there's space to keep stuff. There's a cigarette lighter and there's a 12-volt charging socket right there. There are twin cup holders here. There's space to keep stuff below here as well. Someone has been eating McDonald's. Was it you?
No.
Don't lie now. Any which ways, as you can see, this is a very nice display, has a lot of information on offer. Let's get into home right now. Okay, we are still in reverse, so here we are. Now we are into drive, we are into neutral. Shut this right away. So a lot of information on offer. If I get into car info right now, here you get the fuel info. It's saying 12 kilometers per liter, 336 kilometers is the distance to empty. The Tiretronics, which will actually tell you what is the pressure on each tire and what is the temperature of each tire, including the one on the spare tire, like what is the tire pressure in the spare tire, not the temperature. And this is the reverse camera. You can decide various things on that, reverse alert, and it's also going to tell you service info. So there's plenty of information on offer as such over there. Steering is adjustable only for the height. Yeah, it's a height adjustable steering wheel. Right now it's saying check tire direction, which is a good thing because it will tell you exactly where your wheels are pointing, so that when you're parking or getting out of parking, you know exactly where the wheels are pointing. That's again a very nice and slick touch, I would say. Any which ways, you know, the car seems comfortable. This is what is really different in this particular model, the gear lever. Now the gear lever could have slotted like this, but you know, it's all of a mess. It takes a little time to get used to. If you want to get into gear, you slot it like this. If you want to get into manual, press it like this. If you want to get into neutral, you hit it like this, pull it back to get into reverse. So you know, a little bit complicated, could have been easier, but still works nicely. And the gear lever is also nice to hold. You get this gloss black finish as well. Some amount of hard plastics in this vehicle. You can see a lot of hard plastics, so that's fine. You know, cost cutting is there. Plenty of information in the multi-information display. Like I honestly told you, I've already reviewed the car extensively. There's nothing much to differentiate this car from the manual variant. So let's do one thing. Let's start driving right away. Alright, we are all set to go, which means turning off the air conditioning off, getting into drive mode. Here we are into drive mode. Handbrake down, traction control off. Okay, steering wheel also needs to go into sport. We are in sport mode. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, revving the motor, revs to 2000 rpm, and off we go. Now every time there is a gear shift which happens, there's a nice jerk which happens. It's not like a jerk, I would say. It's more than a jerk. It's like a seesaw, you know, and that's something traditional with AMT gearboxes. When they shift a gear, they make you realize. Now this all happens only at full throttle. It doesn't happen otherwise. If you drive this car slowly, or rather with part throttle, you will never ever even realize that this is an AMT gearbox. However, if you get hard onto the gas and you know, you go pedal to the metal, take the motor all the way to the red line, you definitely feel the AMT-ness, which is the jerk. Now this happens to be the 1.5 liter 4-cylinder motor, which produces 115 horsepower and 300 newton meters of torque. That 300 newton meters of torque comes in at 1500 rpm till 2500 rpm. Thus, there's good amount of punch lower down. Drivability is great. Turbo lag is well contained, and this engine has good punch lower down as well as a great mid-range as well. Performance is really very nice. This car is quite fast, and this AMT gearbox, although it does slow it down, it doesn't do it to a great extent because this is one of the better AMT gearboxes in the market. But being an AMT gearbox, it has its issues, which is of course on full throttle there is just too much of swinging effect. Meanwhile, at lower speeds, it does feel a little jerky, especially out in the city. You can realize that the AMT-ness is not such a boon because there's some amount of jerk. Although I would still say the drivability is great. Only problem is that you really have to modulate the brakes, which are a bit grabby at lower speeds. They're not the most refined brakes as such, although braking performance is great when you try to brake hard from higher speeds because it gets all-wheel discs, and the wide tires also offer good amount of grip under hard braking. Some amount of wheel spin on offer. It takes around 12.5 seconds to go from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. Now, this is a 6-speed AMT gearbox, and this has been sourced from Merrily. And the good thing is that it is vastly better than what we have seen from Mahindra in terms of AMT gearboxes, like in the Nuvo Sport as well as the XUV300. This one simply performs way better. In fact, so good is the gearbox for an AMT that, you know, you just feel more comfortable driving this car. Obviously, it gives you the boon of an automatic, but as long as you're not full throttle or pedal to the metal, this gearbox actually performs quite well for an AMT. I'll tell you why it performs so well. You know, with AMT gearboxes, there's a technology wherein, you know, it's automated manual transmission. So basically, it's manual, but it has been automated, which means that the gear shifts have to be approved from the company. Like I was telling you with the Duster, there's a lot of delay in terms of gear shifts because once you try to shift a gear, it sends the command all the way to France. It gets approved and comes back. Now, obviously, France is very fast, so it takes time for that to get approved. But Mahindra Mahindра's factory being here in Chakan itself, it's not taking that much time to get an update on gear shift. So they really approve your gear shifts fast, and that is how you're able to get the gear shifts done real quickly. So here I am in, I don't know whichever gear, maybe 6th gear. Yeah, I get into the throttle, there it responds. It's much faster in responding when compared to, of course, other AMTs in the market. But yes, you cannot eliminate the jerkiness, you cannot eliminate the swinging effect, and you cannot eliminate the delay in shifts either. Now Mahindra has done a few good things for this vehicle in terms of the AMT box. Firstly, it has got hill hold, which means that when you're climbing a hill or a slope, it will not roll back, it will actually hold the vehicle. That is one really nice thing. I appreciate it. Second thing is that it has also got something like a downhill assist. Not really a downhill assist as such, but what it does is it actually holds on to lower gears when you're actually going down a slope. So that gives you better control of the vehicle because engine braking is active there, and it will not upshift to a higher gear when you're going down a slope, which is again a very nice thing. The best thing they've done is they've removed the stop start system. I hate stop start system because it's so intrusive. It keeps turning off the vehicle. That has been removed as well, which is there in the manual model. And you also get cruise control, which by the way Maruti Suzuki has removed from the Brezza automatic, although the manual gets it. That said, overall performance is good enough because the engine itself is very powerful. The same engine also powers the Mahindra Marazzo, and the Marazzo also gets slightly more power. This one gets slight decrease in power. However, they've actually revised the gearing, and the tune of this motor also suits this compact SUV better. Turbo lag is well contained. Motor is quite refined lower down. It only gets vocal, when it gets vocal past 3000 RPM, and although it will redline all the way to 4500 RPM, there is no real juice in the top end as such. I can manually take control of things, obviously by slotting this on the left. No paddle shifters, so now I can manually shift gears as well. Here we are downshifting into third. Yes, quite vocal. Upshifts at around 4000 RPM, 4 and 4500 RPM. But overall refinement from this engine is impressive at low speeds. Here, let me upshift. Here we are into 6th gear. It feels very calm. At 100 kilometers per hour, it will do 2000 RPM, which actually gives it a lot of calmness. Yes, it is willing to downshift a gear or two as well. In fact, here we are. Right now we are into automatic. Now if I mash the throttle, it will downshift couple of gears, but only couple of gears. It will not go down by 3 or 4 gears. And the real power actually lies in 2nd and 3rd gear, because there is where the juice lies. So the fuel economy of this vehicle is between 13 to 17 kilometers per liter. It's not the most fuel efficient car in the segment, but then again, it's slightly heavier than its rivals. And more importantly, it's more powerful as well when compared to its rivals. So it's fine if it gives lesser fuel economy. The fuel tank capacity happens to be 42 liters, which is not that great. But what is absolutely great and sensational is the ride and handling balance. Mahindra has absolutely nailed it. Oh wait, not Mahindra. SsangYong has absolutely nailed it. We all know it's based on the Tivoli platform known as the X100. Look at this. It just glides through. It is so good. The ride quality is supreme. I mean, they have actually got it perfecto, I would say. The ride and handling balance is so good. I am super duper impressed. Never would I thought I would have said this about a Mahindra, but the ride quality is so good. Low speeds or high speeds, it is able to, decimate the worst of roads without an issue whatsoever, in spite of running on 17-inch wheels. Obviously, the tire profile happens to be 55. But, what's more impressive is the fact that in spite of the great ride, the handling is also very nice. Obviously, there's some amount of body roll on offer, some amount of wheel spin on offer, but because the road is wet, you can't really feel much of the wheel spin. So certainly it's very impressive a vehicle in terms of ride and handling balance, and Mahindra has done a great job with the same. And there's so much grip on offer. In spite of this car being slightly heavier than its rivals, you can't feel that weight at all. It's very light to drive. One little issue I would say is the fact that the steering really doesn't offer much feel and feedback as such. Although you have steering modes, there is normal, comfort as well as sport, and obviously in sport mode it adds more weight to the steering wheel. But the feedback, the confidence it inspires isn't that great either. But that said, for most people, they will really like how this car drives because it feels rugged, it feels composed, there's good amount of grip on offer, and certainly there's a lot of punch as well. Now those people who hate AMT gearboxes, there's good news. Mahindra plans to offer a better gearbox, probably a dual clutch one in the near future, or rather in the distant future. This seems to be more of a stopgap measure till they are able to get that. But this gearbox is more than enough for the city, and even out on the highway you can actually manually take control of things. Actually, you need to manually take control of things to make a quick overtake, but for the most part there is little to complain about those who are going to drive this vehicle with a light foot and not going to bury the throttle every given moment. Because with an AMT gearbox, every time you bury the throttle, well, you realize that the lag is still present, and after all, this Jugadu gearbox, or I am just calling it Jugadu, is actually very cost effective because it costs rupees 75,000 more than the manual variant. There are two variants on offer. There's the W8 as well as the W8 optional. This is the W8 optional, which is priced at rupees 15.86 lakhs on road Mumbai. Meanwhile, the W8 non-optional is priced at rupees 13.85 lakhs on road Mumbai. Now, it is of course on the expensive side, but what you get with the Mahindra XUV300 is a lot of features indeed. It is loaded to the gale and more. Some amount of wheel spin on offer. Anyways, so should you buy a Mahindra XUV300? Agreed, the price is on the higher side. There's no denying that fact. But what is its real rivals? If you're buying a Brezza which costs 3 to 4 lakhs lesser than this car, well, then how do you justify the price? Well, for starters, you get a lot more features on offer, and this is just a superior product to the Brezza, period. There are no two ways about it. It feels more rugged, drives better, and the ride and handling balance is superior as well. That said, you have to realize that the real competitor to this car is the Renault Duster. Now, the Duster is above 4 meters, it's more spacious, has a bigger boot as well, but has lesser power. Just doesn't have any features whatsoever when you compare it to this totally loaded XUV300. Agreed that the Duster has the overall better ride and handling balance as well as the bigger boot and feels a little bit more practical, but the lack of features on the Duster is a real issue because nowadays when you pay rupees 15 lakhs, you definitely want a sunroof, keyless entry, push button start, passive entry, rather not keyless entry, passive entry, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto connectivity, and a lot of other gizmos. Agreed, this car could have done with slightly more features, but for the price, it does justify it to a certain extent by offering a lot of features and definitely a lot of power as well. As long as you don't expect to extract every horse from this motor, you're just going to be fine and be happy as well. So guys, this is my review of the SsangYong Tivoli Indian edition, and if you liked it, you know what you have to do. Give it the thumbs up. That's the like button. How is the car? First time Neha saying like this to a car. Well, that's unbelievable. She likes it so much, and I never ever thought that I would like a Mahindra car so much that if I have to buy a car in this segment, I would definitely recommend the XUV300 because for starters, they are the only ones who are offering us a diesel automatic. Obviously, Maruti also offers it with the Brezza, but you know the good part. Oh my God, that's a Land Cruiser. That's a freaking Land Cruiser. Yeah, there is no way in hell we can catch a Land Cruiser with that V8 power plant. It has a V8 motor. It has a V8 motor. It's going to fly.
Get on the passenger seat.
First we need to call Anand Mahindra or Pawan Goenka from Mahindra and ask them for a few gear shifts, and then probably we can think of, because otherwise, here, let's go downshifting. Come on. Yeah, downshift. Oh, we are in third gear, and here we go. Yes. Anyways, guys, if you like this video, you know what you have to do. Give it a thumbs up. That's a like button, and also subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys in the next video real soon. Okay, this is like a marathon speaking right now. It looks like my vocal cords have just have the turbos kicked in. Yo, bye bye. See ya. Take care. What is so funny?